Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gordon Frayne, and today we're diving in to give you a full guide on VFAT.io, a yield optimization and portfolio management tool for decentralized finance. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit that subscribe button as well, and if you want to get notified about similar videos, smash that bell notification icon, and don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked down below this video in the description. Grab it while it's free. It's my gift to you, and let's get into the video. So, what is VFAT.io? You might have been hearing a lot about it in the decentralized finance space over the past couple of months, but essentially VFAT is a yield optimization protocol and portfolio management tool for entering positions and optimizing those positions as you manage them over time in decentralized finance. Now, why would we want to use VFAT versus entering a liquidity position directly on a decentralized exchange? Well, VFAT actually allows us to do certain things that we cannot do directly on decentralized exchanges like Aerodrome. So in this instance, we're going to be looking at a whole bunch of examples, but VFAT essentially allows us to execute optimizations for our liquidity positions by doing things like zapping into positions without needing to have 50% of each asset. We can also do things like automatically rebalancing our positions if we go out of range using smart contracts. We can also do things like auto harvesting, so we can harvest the fees automatically from our positions into stable coins, or by earning the Aero emissions on something like Aerodrome, for example. And we can even auto compound our earnings and fees back into the position to make the optimization even more efficient in terms of continuing to compound our gains over time as liquidity providers. So let's dive in and take a quick look. The first thing you'll notice here when we come into the yield area, as we focus in on liquidity provision here on VFAT, is that we've got a whole bunch of different pools and farm opportunities. And this can look quite overwhelming on first glance, but everything is sorted by TVL. So the highest TVL pools to lowest as we scroll down the list. The next thing you'll notice is the vast majority of these opportunities, at least the larger ones, are on the base network and operating on the Aerodrome decentralized exchange. There is obviously opportunities on the likes of the Binance Smart Chain for PancakeSwap, on Optimism for Velodrome, but you'll see that the vast majority here are, in particular, the large ones are on the base network and are on the Aerodrome DEX. So let's take a look at a couple of examples of what's going on here. So we could take a look at this WETH USDC pool, and you'll notice that when the pool name does not have a CL10 or CL100 before it, that means that it is a full range pool. Okay, so this WETH USDC pool at the 0.3% fee tier, we can add liquidity to this pool. There's already $52 million of liquidity in here. But if we supply liquidity into this pool, we can earn about 11.67% APR. The next benefit of using something like VFAT to enter this position is something I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, where we can actually zap into this position by using any of the tokens in our wallet. So we don't have to have 50% ETH and 50% USDC in this case. We can actually add capital. So if we've got $10 worth of Ethereum in our wallet, we can denote to add this Ethereum into this particular pool, and then VFAT will calculate a route for this deposit. It will show us how it's going to actually swap a portion of our WETH into USDC via a particular decentralized exchange, and then it's going to show us how it adds that liquidity into the pool, and then we will start earning fees as a result of providing liquidity for this WETH USDC pool. So again, it makes it very efficient and easy to add capital into these pools on Aerodrome by using a solution like VFAT. Let's take a look at another example, because we've got a CL100 WETH USDC pool here on Aerodrome as well. This concentrated pool has 39 million of TVL, and you can see this is quoting 197% APR. So let's click on this particular option, and you might be asking the question, why is this APR so high? Well, it's quoting such a high APR because in this particular pool opportunity, we would be providing liquidity at a concentrated range. So you can see the default width when we click on this particular pool is set at 6% here. So when we click on it here now, we can see at a 6% wide range. So that would be us providing liquidity only between the prices where Ethereum ranges between 26.22 and 27.85 on the upper end. That would get us about 272% APR. Okay, let's zoom out and let's make that range even wider. So if we were to go to about a 12% wide range, for example, you know, we're still going to be earning more than 10% per month. We can get 137% APR by providing liquidity in a concentrated range of about 12%. So you can see we've widened out this range to a level where we're at 25.19 on the lower end and 28.41 on the upper end. We're 6% below and 6% above the current spot price. Okay, what does this CL100 refer to? Well, it basically means that each of these tick spacings here on this particular graph where we're adding liquidity and setting our range is representative of 1%. So again, when you're assessing pools on Aerodrome and on VFAT here, the CL100 means that each tick spacing is worth 1%. And that also means that a pool like this one, CL10, means that each tick spacing is actually only worth 1/10 of 1%. So again, we can use these CL pools, these concentrated liquidity pools, to add concentrated liquidity in a very narrow range and bump up the APR that we're earning as a result. Again, when we set up a particular pool with a given range, you know, the thing that we need to be looking out for is the fact that we could go out of range if we move up or down in price of the underlying asset. So with this WETH USDC pool, as we move up the range towards the upper bound, we're getting fully converted into USDC. But if we're moving towards the bottom of the range and going out towards the bottom, we're getting fully converted into Ethereum. So again, you need to set a range that you are comfortable with for generating consistent fees. Also remembering that we don't want to be rebalancing too frequently because we're going to incur additional impermanent loss. Okay, now we're going to look at a quick example here because I've got a pool open on the CL200 WETH BRET as an example to show you. And what this means again is at a CL200 level, that means that each tick spacing here on the chart is representative of 2%. So at the moment, we've got a width set up of just 4%. So this is a very, very narrow range, but you can see just how high the APR has bumped up for this WETH BRET pool at a 4% wide range. So it's earning very high APR, but we've got a very, very small range. What does this mean? Well, with a very narrow range, what's going to happen is you're going to experience excessive rebalancing over time. And what does excessive rebalancing over time mean? Well, it means that we're going to go out of range frequently because our range is so narrow. And when we have to execute the rebalance, we essentially lock in some of the impermanent loss in the pool. So what you'll notice here, you'll notice we've got about $350 in this pool right now. But I opened this pool at the very beginning of August with $1,500, okay? So the value that we have left in the pool now is only about 24% of what we originally started with. And that is because of excessive impermanent loss getting locked in from excessive rebalancing due to the fact that we have a very, very tight range on this particular pool. However, the positive sign, despite the fact that the initial value of the capital is only 23% of what it was, is that I have pretty much earned back 100% of the capital that I already put in fees. So you can see I've earned $10. This is about, 15, 16 hours worth of, or about 24 hours worth of fees earned in this particular pool. This daily rewards and APR does fluctuate, on a minute by minute basis. But over the course of the past 2.5 to 3 months, I've actually earned pretty much just under $1,500 in earned fees from this pool over that period of time. So yes, my initial pool capital is down almost, 75, 80%, but I've earned back over 95% of the fees in fees of the initial value of the capital. So this $349 is pretty much house money at this point. And, you know, I might even widen out the range as we move forward so that I don't continue to incur additional and permanent loss. And I get to keep earning fees on this capital day over day, week over week, month over month, as we move through the course of the next 12 months. So I wanted to showcase this example. You know, as we mentioned, we have the ability to configure some automated optimizations with VFAT that are, you know, more beneficial for us as liquidity providers when, you know, we're setting up and using a protocol like this. So you'll notice a couple of things that I have in place here. I've got auto harvesting set up on this particular pool, and I've also got auto rebalancing set up. So what this means is auto harvesting, where we can click on this harvest area, we can configure the auto harvesting for this pool. But what it means is essentially once we get to $50 earned in value on this particular pool, VFAT as a protocol is going to execute a harvest for me without me having to do anything manually, and it's going to deposit the earned fees directly into my wallet. You know, so I'm using a wallet here for this particular example, and when I set up the auto harvest, I can actually specify or denote what token I want to receive when I execute that auto harvest. So again, I could choose to earn this and receive this auto harvest in Aero if I wanted to, because essentially the value of these dollars is the value of the Aero that I'm earning as emissions from the Aerodrome exchange. But I'm opting to actually harvest this in USDC stablecoin so that every time the auto harvest happens, I'm getting USDC stablecoin deposited directly into my wallet. Okay. The other thing I have set up is the auto rebalance. So if we come over to the rebalance area, you'll notice again that I'm getting quite close to the upper end of my range here. And, you know, because I've got such a tight range, I want to have this auto rebalance in place so that it will automatically rebalance me back into range and into my position without me needing to be on my computer, without me needing to be thinking about it, and I can continue to earn fees as a result of that. As we mentioned already, the downside of having such a narrow range is the fact that I'm going to incur and essentially lock in more impermanent loss over time, but I pretty much earn back 100% of my capital, and I'm now playing with house money. But this auto rebalance allows me to, you know, be away from my device or away from my computer, not have to check on this particular pool, you know, multiple times per day. I can rest easy knowing that I've got the auto rebalance in place, and as soon as I go out of range to the upper or lower bound, the protocol is going to automatically rebalance me back into range and continue earning me these fees. So that is the power of VFAT. I wanted to run through that VFAT guide on today's video. You know, very powerful in terms of optimization. You know, we can dive into Aerodrome protocol metrics and a lot of other stuff on future videos, but VFAT as a tool, as a portfolio management tool and a yield optimizer is very, very powerful. Again, you can enter multiple positions and have those positions, you know, and view them here in your deposits area. You can get a full snapshot of the APR that you're earning across multiple pools, along with your total deposits, your fees earned since you last harvested, and your estimated daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly reward. So you can see that currently it's projecting earning $155 on only $350 worth of capital deposits over a 1 month period. And again, on a daily basis, that's going to land somewhere between $5 and $10. So that is your VFAT guide. Let us know in the comments below. Have you been using VFAT? Have you got any questions about VFAT? And do you want any other specific videos or content made about VFAT? Drop us a comment below. Let us know. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to get notified about other videos on the channel, smash that bell notification icon. And don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked below. Grab it in the description, and we'll catch you in the next one.